Hello and welcome to the next video in my Death Guard set of reviews. Today I will be reviewing the Plague Marines. Really nice selection of models. I'll go through them first before I go on to the rules and things. The only sort of similar-ish models are just these two. They've got a different front, a different head or helmet, and a different gun, but their sort of legs are almost identical, but because they've got a different sort of chest piece and the chainmail and things, they do look different. Their power pack is exactly the same though, with the same sort of corrupted blade, but other than that you're getting completely different models, and there's 7 of them. So you've got this guy with the bolt gun and the plasma gun. Now these guys look hench. These guys are thick. Thicker than your normal MK.III in the Iron Armour Space Marines. Comparing them to the old Space Marines, they are bigger. So again, GW have decided to make the older Space Marines bigger, and no, I don't think that you could make them bigger without their armour sort of getting bigger, if that makes sense. So they have actually increased the size of, I say, older Space Marines, but there we go. So what I'll do is I'll just show you all of these Plague Marines sort of individually. I like this guy. He's got sort of like a sort of Guillermo del Toro kind of wood thing going on, and there's the 3 sort of symbols. It's got a really cool bolt gun with this with the rounds being fed in there, and a little chainsword bayonet, I'd probably say. And then you've got the other guy that looks very similar. I really like this guy's helmet though, or head. He's got some horrible like little teeth in there, and he's got like a cyclops eye and a massive horn jumping out. Yeah, really nice plasma gun as well, and some chainmail just dripping off of his armour. You got this butcher type guy again with some horns coming out, and I think this guy actually had to put the shoulder pauldron over the horn there. And then you've got some sort of giblets coming out, and funky sort of power pack with 3 eyes there, and he's got like some old school sort of frag grenades from like World War II maybe. And then you've got this guy with just a bolt gun and a bayonet, and it looks like he's got like a power plant going on with these funky things attached to his MK.III. And he's got like a tentacle coming out of his bum. And then you got this guy, got an action pose, firing his bolt gun one-handed. He's got some bells just to alert everyone when dinner is ready. He's got some spikes coming out, some tentacles, like a human head that's got its sort of eyes stitched and its mouth stitched, and he got some fire effects coming out of this incense thing, and another bell on his bolt gun. So these guys, stealth missions all the way. And then you got this guy, a massive sort of power pack with like a skull with its eyes sewn shut and hair still on the skull, and he's just holding his bolt gun by the grip. Got some sort of like death mask type respirator thing going on with one of these grenades with 3 skulls on it and some spikes. And then finally you've got this chap who's got like some kind of creepy crawly sort of bug drone thing, and big horn coming out of his hooded head. Looks like his respirator or mask has just sort of melted off of his face maybe. It's quite a sharp sort of dagger he's got, and it looks like his power pack has sort of become him. It's got like a skull and some tentacles, and got another skull there, and his fist is like a power fist with 3 sort of Nurgle things coming out of it, spiky shoulder pad. I'm really impressed with these Plague Marines. I mean, I'm very tempted just to collect a Death Guard, heretic army, more than the others. I mean, we don't know what sort of Slanesh looks like, but I'd definitely go for these more than sort of like the Thousand Suns or corn. I mean, you know, there's just so much detail that you can cram in these. They're going to be an absolute joy to paint. Okay, let's talk about the rules though. So Plague Marines, their movement is 5 inches, so again, they're sort of 1 inch slower than a Primaris Space Marine. Their weapon skill, ballistic skill is 3+. They got a strength of 4, but they beat Primaris with their toughness of 5. They've only got 1 wound though, and they've only got 1 attack, leadership 7 and save of 3+. So it contains 4 Plague Marines and 1 champion, but it can also include 2 additional Plague Marines. So here you've got 7, so you could have the 4, you could have the 5 basically, and then 2 additional ones. So the Plague Champion equipped with a bolt pistol, plague sword, and power fist. So one could say that he is the champion because he's got the power fist and he's got his plague sword. One is equipped with a plasma gun, and then all of the rest of them are equipped with bolt guns and plague knives. So here's the other one with a plasma gun. Now a plasma gun is 24 inches, rapid fire 1, strength 7, AP -3, damage 1. Again, you can supercharge the plasma gun, and on a roll of a 1, the model is slain if the weapon explodes, but it does increase the strength and damage by 1 for the turn. Plague knife has got a damage of 1. Plague sword, again, damage is 1, but it's a plague weapon. Now, you've got to go and turn some pages again, but a plague weapon, you just can re-roll any wound rolls of a 1 when attacking. So a plague sword is a plague weapon, and it's also re-roll failed, all failed wound rolls when resolving its attacks. Power fist is just normal power fist. Blight grenades though, 6 inch range, grenade d6, strength 3, damage 1, and crack grenades are grenade 1, strength 6, AP -1, and d3 damage. Everything else is quite straightforward and explained. So there you go, there's the 7 sort of Plague Marines. Points wise, you can have between 5 and 10, so obviously you've got 7 there, so we could have another 3 if we wanted, and they're 21 points per model. So not as pricey as Primaris Space Marines, just as well because they've only got 1 wound, they don't move as far, and they've only got 1 attack, but they are toughness 5, and they've got their you know, plague knives or plague weapons and things like that. Another ability that they've got that I'd need to quickly just mention is disgustingly resilient. So disgustingly resilient is each time a model in the unit loses a wound, on a 5 or 6, model does not lose a wound. So it's the same rule as the Poxwalkers. Anyway, thank you ever so much for joining me for this little review of these Plague Marines. Thank you for watching. The Emperor Protects.